and welcome. Henning Pauli here, the channel is HP42. Today we're going to talk about the ToneX One Pedal. Me, Henning, that's an old story. We've talked about ToneX One before. Of course, we talked about ToneX One before. We talked about ways of controlling it. We talked about the new thing in the editor, where you now can download presets, not just captures or tone models, as they call them. What is that? Do we really have to go into the whole thing? Well, pretty much you can take an amp, run it through the ToneX modeler. It does machine learning, number crunching, and then you can put it into this tiny pedal or the bigger ToneX pedal, and then have that amp kind of in there, right? Not really. A tube amp's a tube amp, and honestly, I'm sorry guys, but nothing digital is going to replace that. Not even now and not even anytime soon, but it's pretty damn good, right? You can get shit done, as we'll see later. But people had a problem with it. Well, because it was missing a couple of things, but they were missing the point, because the ToneX One Pedal for under 200 euro was the first affordable way to get amp profiling for under 200 euro in a tiny mobile package. The next step up was the Neural Nano Cortex at 550. Now times have changed. It's been a few years. It's been a while. It's a song. And we have NAM, N-A-M, Neural Amp Modeler, and there are cheap solutions from like 70 bucks to whatever from Velton and others who are using NAM profiles, but in a compressed format. So not the full NAM, but a baby NAM. Still pretty good for the money. So ToneX obviously really was, I think, the game changer. It was the first with the ToneX One Pedal to go and bring this into a smaller package at a lower price point. Now there's others. Now ToneX says, okay, well, we got to make this even better. And they did. Again, they brought in presets, and now you can download full presets, meaning, oh, they also at some point just added delay modulation. They already had reverb. You know, you can build sounds and not just the amp. Now those can be combined, and you can actually, on the ToneNet, get full presets. So you can get your slash preset, your edge preset, whatever. That's pretty cool. But now, the tiny pedal, just like the ToneX plug, has Bluetooth for audio. So you can jam with your favorite stuff with headphones. Yes. You can use a mobile editor. No more having to put it on the big one, on the desktop, which is still possible. That's a big thing. Being able to take your phone, I mean, it's right on the table here, and just edit your amps. How cool is that? Right? But let's go over here. Let's look at the delay. Let's look at the mix. Look what I'm doing on the table here. Now go back to the phone. That's not through USB. The ToneX pedal now has a MIDI in and out. So let's recapitulate. We have an editor on the phone. You can go to ToneX. You can do anything you want to do during a rehearsal, in front of a gig or whatever, quickly on your phone. You have full continuous controller control over every parameter. If you want to use expression pedals or sequences or whatever to change your sounds on the fly, you can. You have MIDI program changes. Your 20 profiles or your 20 sounds that can be in the ToneX One can now be switched with MIDI. That makes this a very powerful, tiny powerhouse. Now, obviously, we could talk about everything else, but technically, that's what's new, and we should focus on that. But of course, for the ones that are not familiar with ToneX, we're going to go into a few things just to recap. Obviously, I got a list here. The way you can use this is ridiculous. You can power it with USB-C, plug in headphones, pump in Bluetooth audio, and just jam along. Totally doable. Easy peasy, great practice tool. You can use it in stomp mode, and then it's an overdrive. One of many overdrives that you can download into it, and then you can use it in front of your amp like an overdrive. Easy peasy, right? You could go into a power amp and a cabinet, turn the built-in speaker simulation off, and use it like an amp. Just make it loud. You can go into an FRFR, and I do recommend the ToneX cab because it's one of the best ones on the market. Tiny thing into a FRFR cab like the ToneX cab, big sound, go on stage with the app this big. You can feed it into PA, which is what you would likely do. You can actually feed it into an FRFR and then from the FRFR go into the PA. Silent practicing, recording, the USB-C out actually is a 2x2 audio interface. Use headphones, use it as an audio interface, go in and out of your computer with it and record guitars at a hotel room. It's an audio interface. I'm not sure about OTG. I don't think it has it yet, as far as I know. As a stomp in front of a real amp for practice, there's so many different uses. Use it as an overdrive pedal. Use it as your full rig. Use it as a full rig into PA, as into FRFR. Turn the cab sim off. Use it into a power amp. I mean, blah, 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 blah. For under $200, there's a lot that this can do. It could be your general tool to have when all your other tools that do these jobs fail. Have a ToneX One on you with a couple of sounds that you need, maybe your amps that you profiled, and or captured or tone modeled or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Everyone has different words for it. Now Line 6 calls it proxying. Could we just agree on one? Makes it so much easier for me. So have this in your rig wherever you need it. For people, of course, at trade shows, that's great. Have it in your pocket at a trade show with a little power bank. Done. Power bank, USB-C, have in your pocket, plug in, headphones. Test the guitars with the sounds you know. Okay, here it is. From the top, it looks as always. And the functionality has not changed. You click. And it's actually now switching between two different sounds, which is tough to see because it's orange and red or something. So if we go to the app, you can see it's switching between Big Hair and Shiva Tide. But both, you can define colors, but both of them are, well, very close to the same color. You've got bass, mid, and treble, and this is volume. Now it's flashing because I changed the position. Okay, when you click this Alt, usually when you click this, then you've got gate, comp, and reverb, and this becomes gain. Pretty cool. When you're holding this in, you have a tuner, which is pretty damn good, actually. There's also ways to change this from amp mode, where you've got 2 on this foot switch, to stomp box mode, but we're not doing that right now. So you can see it's red on the pedal itself. Pretty good tuner right there on the pedal. If you have the app open, of course, that's nice, but you don't need that. Hold it in longer. There you go. There's also a way to, tap it. All the stuff that ToneX had. They packed so much into the small thing, it's ridiculous. But what we want to see is the app, and we want to see MIDI. So let's go into MIDI first. I did 4 program changes. Actually, no, we're not doing that. I'll show you how it arrives. As always, I took a couple of product shots, you've already seen it, but let's do that and a few sounds. So we'll go into MIDI, then I'll show you a track I recorded with it, and then more. So MIDI, in the more tricks MIDI switcher that I got here, I did 4 different sounds, and they're really just, I think, program changes 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's what I did. So you can see when I click on this, there's MIDI channel 4, which I set up in the app. Went here, went to settings, global setup, MIDI, there's the channel. You can also say, when you're sending the same program change again, does it go into bypass or does it ignore it? I have it on bypass, which is annoying the way that I'm using it right now, but I will show you anyway, right? So we close that. So I go to this. You should see the lights changing. All kind of bluish. The light strip behind it is really what you're seeing. I'm sorry about that. And the pedal changes immediately. The app takes a while. You can see the pedal color change really as soon as I hit the switch, but the app takes a bit to follow. Now, full disclosure, I used the Kedem 4 in the track that you're going to see later. And I did the same thing. I was sending program changes, but with the Kedem, it took a bit longer to switch. But now I know that's not the fault of the ToneX. That actually has something to do with that MIDI switcher and the way I had it connected. So depending on your MIDI switcher, it might not be immediate, but the ToneX is immediate. Okay, and when we go to the streets setting, you can see that there's a bar at the bottom because I have an expression pedal on the table. That's the fulcrum from 901 sound. And we could actually do 2 axes, but we're only using 1. And you can see that going up and down, and I have that assigned to channel 4, controller 8. And controller 8, the manual will tell you that, is delay mix. And that's why we could see when we went to the delay here in the app, we could see the mix going up and down. So you can control every single parameter of every effect. You just have to go to the manual and read about it. So your gain, everything can be controlled if you so choose. So let's test that out. We got the sound here. Taking that down. Hit it down. Now we have, only wet stuff, but obviously in your MIDI switcher, you can define the range. And I can very quickly now go into my switcher, hit 1, bam. So how would that look in a song? Yeah, I mean, it's really stupid for this update video to do a song, but Glenn Fricker was here and we were fiddling around with stupidity and Glenn said, I've got good ideas for lyrics. Well, he didn't. I had something stuck to my shoe, so apparently that had to go in a song, and we threw this into, of course, an AI thing, and then I got rid of everything that the AI did except for some of the vocals. I actually used IK Multimedia's Resing to replace the vocals with some of the vocalists that they're paying to be used in Resing. And so everything you're hearing is not what the AI gave us, but it's kind of AI. It is. But it's fun. And Glenn had a stupid idea. So here's, my thing's probably way too hot now. So you can see you can actually use ToneX One now with 20 program changes and full programmability with expression pedals to real-time control parameters. That makes this tiny little thing ever so much more powerful. And quickly we go into the app. I'm not even doing screen record because why? So here in the app, you can see the different amps, right? You've got the chain here. We could go in here, noise gate, we turn that on. Let's see. And it's actually, nope, that works. We can even turn that off because we don't need that. There's your amp, a cab. You can also do the virtual. Pick one of the ones that are included. And then you are moving the mics around. You can get to a result pretty damn quickly. And then we have our comp, which could also be, and probably should be, there, pre-post, before everything. That's probably where I would want the comp. Then you've got modulation, can also be approved. No, that's a chorus. Yeah, that is modulation. You got chorus, tremolo, phaser. So if I want a tremolo, right? Then I got this. You got different delays, and actually the tape delay and the digital delay have different continuous controllers, which is interesting. And there you got the different reverbs. You can even pick different algorithms through continuous controllers. It's pretty well done. Now here are presets. The ones in the ToneX One Plus, you can decide whether they go on A, B, or the stump mode. And then here are the presets that I have on my phone. But I can go to something else if I wanted to. What else do we have here? Juicy verb. That's probably be brutal. Oh, here we go. That doesn't sound great. And so on, or you of course go to ToneNet, and then there's literally whatever 100,000 whatever sounds. So you want one of these amps, go get them. You know, sure, it will be overwritten. Apparently that's it. Do we have that amp now? Looks like it. There you go. Ah, kind of tweet. It has been overwritten. That's how easy that is. Okay, you know, the tools. So you can even go in there, do presets. I want that in slot 13, so you can pick your slots. Save to ToneX One. And now we got I don't know, sound. That's how easy that is to get your presets on there, your amps on there. It's pretty impressive. And all that for under $200. There are people who spend $200 on a tuner. I mean, yeah, there are. And this is a tuner, this is a stomp box, this is a practice tool. It's got, Bluetooth audio, as I mentioned. It's a lot. And it's tiny. ToneX One has always been good. Now ToneX One is good plus. Why would you not want to get it if you don't already have one? Even if you already have one and you bitched about those functions missing, now they're there. Now it's got Bluetooth and MIDI. That's really the message. I'll link below. Please use the links. Please subscribe to the newsletter, link below. That can get you used stuff, giveaways, news about videos you've missed. That can get you news about my courses, which you want because they'll make you better. All that stuff, please subscribe to the newsletter. That will absolutely help us. And trust me, we're not going to overwhelm you with a newsletter every day or every Tuesday. One a week, sometimes a few when there's a new course. And that's about it. Because I wouldn't want that, so I'm not going to do that to you. Please subscribe to the newsletter. Thank you so much. And animals at the end.
I'm not made of solid gold, and my shoes, they are worn by the time they are way too old. I've not been touched in many years. Have a lost building up like of trust has kept me here.